Hello, and welcome to the Injective Summit. I'm Eric, and I'm the co-founder of Injective. Today, I couldn't be more excited to be hosting this year's summit right here in the heart of New York City. New York has always held a very special place in my journey. It's why I first came up with the idea for Injective. It's first where I went to school and dropped out to build Injective. And it's where the Injective Labs HQ is today. New York also happens to be the financial capital of the world, which makes it the perfect place to talk about how Injective is building the infrastructure for a new financial system, one that is more open, more efficient, and more equitable. Because at Injective, we believe that the future starts here. And that theme, the transformation of a new financial system, is woven into every part of the summit today. It's no coincidence that we're gathered here at Hall de Lumières, a space that once housed the Emigrant Industrial Savings Bank, the largest bank building in the US when it was completed. Today, a landmark of traditional finance has been completely reimagined. A place that once represented the old financial system now hosts the Injective Summit, where we're building what the future of finance can and should look like. Here, you'll see a visual journey that serves as a blueprint for the future of finance. This concept is etched across the walls, in the floors above us, and in your brochures. A timeline tracing the evolution of finance. Because how can you know where you're going if you don't know where you've been? From the world's first stock exchange in 1602 with the rise of Dutch East India Company to the creation of the Federal Reserve in 1913, the global financial crisis of 2008, and the launch of Bitcoin in 2009. All of these play a role in how we get into the Injective era today. You're literally surrounded by the history of finance, so you can better see the future we're building with Injective. Now, before we dive into what the future is, let's take a step back to the basics, starting with what exactly is Injective. Injective is a blockchain purpose-built for finance. This means that every upgrade, integration, and collaboration at the protocol level is designed with one goal in mind: to advance the future of finance. Why? Because we believe blockchain technology can and should serve as a foundation for a more open financial system, one that bridges traditional finance with decentralized finance. So what makes Injective truly different? At its core, Injective is powered by a fully on-chain order book. Now that might seem simple, but in finance, the order book isn't just important, it's foundational. It's a beating heart of markets, whether it's trading, lending, or price discovery. And on Injective, it's baked into the underlying chain stack itself, something no other chain has ever done before, and that only a handful of chains are even beginning to attempt today. Unlike other networks, where trades settle off-chain and rely on third parties, every transaction on Injective is settled directly on-chain. This means full transparency, instant finality, and MEV resistance by design, thanks to our unique matching engine. And here's where things get more powerful. Liquidity on Injective is shared across the entire network. This means that every application built on Injective can tap into a unified liquidity layer. Developers don't have to start from scratch or bootstrap their own applications. They can plug into the network and focus on building what matters. Because we believe access to finance should be universal, whether you're a user, a builder, or an institution. And that ethos is woven into everything that we do, from the tech to the institutional collaborations to the way value flows across the network. Injective was designed as a collaborative, composable financial stack where even revenue is shared. One great example of this is Injective's burn auction, which is a built-in mechanism that creates economic feedback loop across the entire ecosystem. Each week, 60% of the fees generated by dApps using Injective's exchange module are collected and pulled into a fund. That fund is then put up for auction where any Injective user can bid on the assets using INJ. The highest bidder wins the entire pool of assets, and the INJ they use to win is permanently burned, reducing the total supply and creating a deflationary effect that grows within the ecosystem. This model has burned 6.6 million INJ to date. And today, we're unveiling a system, one that is based on burning revenue across the chain like never before, built by the community for the community. Introducing the community burn. First, we're moving on from weekly to monthly auctions, creating larger, more impactful pools of protocol fees across the chain. But the real innovation isn't just in scale. It's the mechanism powering participation and enabling everyone in the ecosystem to earn. Participation is now handled entirely through a smart contract, which acts as a sole bidder in the auction. Anyone can register their address through the contract on a first-come, first-served basis. Once registered, the contract handles the bidding process, placing bids at a fixed percentage below the pool's total value. This means everyone has a chance to win while directly contributing to the INJ burn like never before. There are clear rules. Spots are limited, allocations per address are capped, and everything is recorded fully on-chain for transparency and auditability. This ensures fairness, scalability, and efficiency as the ecosystem expands. Participants have the chance to receive a share of the pool assets while contributing to a deflationary model that propels the entire ecosystem forward. What's more, this isn't just about burning INJ. It's about empowering the community and about accelerating Injective revenue. Today, Injective is one of the highest revenue-generating Layer 1 chains. And today, we're officially unveiling the Injective Revenue Fund, which will act as a transparent public fund that collects revenue across the entire Injective ecosystem in real time. This revenue can contribute more to the burn while also being used for a wide array of ecosystem initiatives moving forward, helping to accelerate all of Injective into a new era of finance where users have direct access to governing and earning from the on-chain revenue. But that's not the only major milestone we will celebrate today. At last year's summit, we introduced our vision for a multi-VM world, Injective's mission to become the first Layer 1 blockchain to offer fully integrated multi-VM support for developers. That vision is now a reality. Injective's unified development environment is here. Starting next week, the public EVM testnet is officially going live. This means that Ethereum developers can now launch directly on Injective without changing a single line of code, all while tapping into advanced financial infrastructure like our on-chain cloud, burn module, and shared liquidity layer. This will also enable you to access and use a wide array of new dApps built on Injective, which will go live alongside the public testnet. And all activity across any virtual machine flows through one unified network, one ledger, one liquidity layer, and one community. Mirza, our head of business, will be sharing more about this launch and much more later today during his session titled Injective Alpha, the next chapter, so stay tuned. During his session, Mirza will also be unveiling even more of what's ahead for our ecosystem and new releases. I've so far only scratched the surface, but here are several major releases being announced today that will change Web3 forever. It's a session you don't want to miss, since you'll hear more about where Injective is headed and what's in store for a future of finance that we're building together. Beyond the announcements, however, we'll also be showing how Injective is actively reshaping the financial landscape, working alongside leading policymakers, institutions, and crypto-native innovators. We're honored to kick off the day with Deputy Superintendent John Melican from the NYDFS, who will help frame the broader regulatory vision for crypto here in New York, especially as it relates to the intersection of banking and digital assets. Summer Mersinger, CEO of the Blockchain Association, will also be joining us on a stage to share BA's work to advocate digital asset innovation and policy in Washington, providing a unique view after her experience as commissioner at the CFTC. You'll also hear from ecosystem partners like Sonic, Layer 0, PIF, and Plume, who are helping to build the entire financial backbone of tomorrow. And from teams at FalconX, Selene Capital, and Dragonfly, and Arch Capital, who are helping to accelerate that on-chain economy in real time. We'll dive into real-world assets with speakers from Galaxy Digital, Anchorage, and Republic, a segment that highlights exactly why TradFi is moving on-chain. A theme that we continue by speakers from Gemini and Citibank. An actor and comedian, TJ Miller, will be able to speak on why that matters for every kind of economy, whether it's traditional financial services or creative industries like film, TV, and entertainment. Of course, New York City's Mayor Adams will be speaking to you all today as well. He has been a vocal advocate for crypto from the start and has made it clear that he wants to make New York City the crypto capital of the world. That vision is coming to life, and Injective is proud to be one of the largest crypto companies ever built right here in the heart of New York. And we'll close the loop with insights on institutional capital entering the space from VanEck, 21 Shares, and last but certainly not least, Canary Capital. Because when we talk about finance, we mean the whole of it, including major institutions. As some Eagle Eye community members have already noticed, Canary Capital has officially registered a company to file for the first INJ staked ETF, which we'll be announcing in the coming weeks. All of this points to one thing. This is just the beginning. I'm so excited to have you all here at the Injective Summit. So let's get started because the future doesn't wait. The future starts here. The future starts on Injective.